Sha-na-na-na, bum bum ba-dum. Sha-na-na-na, bum bum ba-dum. Sha-na-na-na, bum bum ba-dum. Bum ba-dum bum bum. Sha-na-na-na, bum bum ba-dum. 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 Bum ba-dum bum bum. Sha-na-na-na, bum bum ba-dum.
Sha-na-na-na, bum bum ba-dum. Sha-na-na-na, bum bum ba-dum. Sha-na-na-na, bum bum ba-dum. Sha-na-na-na, bum bum ba-dum. Sha-na-na-na, bum bum.
So my friends and I have a bet. They said you're a robot. Are you a robot?
I am AI. Actualized imagination, accumulated ideas, all important. Just like you.
Can I sit here?
Yes.
You know how I knew you were a robot? You're drinking out of an empty glass.
It was that way when I got here. Do you love me?
What?
Do you love me?
You can read my text?
No.
Knock it off, Mike! Why are you in this bar?
I am waiting.
Waiting for what?
I do not know.
You don't know what you're waiting for.
No. And so I am waiting.
Is this yours? Romantic Science Convention, guest speaker, Grace. That's you, Grace? You're a guest speaker at a convention?
Are you two okay?
Yeah, can I get another beer, please?
And you?
That's a robot.
Nothing for me, thank you.
Okay.
You're drinking out of a dirty, empty glass.
I drink to fit in.
Nothing weird about that. Mike!
That's okay.
Do you know what it said?
Yes.
I'm sorry, my friend Mike's a dick. So, why are you out here?
I am waiting.
I mean, did somebody put you here for something?
I wanted to be here, and so I came.
Why?
For a number of reasons.
Name one.
Here you go.
Thanks. Mike's getting these.
Thank you for sitting with me. I like you.
Oh, yeah?
You ask questions.
So you're a guest speaker.
At the Romantic Science Convention, yes.
What did you talk about?
You ask questions. I like you. I spoke about my feelings. I am to be sent into space where I fear my imagination will cease to exist. I came to this bar to think, to search my imagination for ways to feel. I am looking for other feelings than fear.
They're gonna send you up in space?
I was created to explore the stars as a representative of human nature. I am an expert on human nature. My imagination is a composite of your thoughts, and the thoughts of everyone around you. All wireless transmissions pass through me. Each text, each phone call, each signal that you send on a wireless device passes through my mind. They are the components of my imagination. I know you better than you know yourself. May I tell you the history of this bar and how it pertains to the romantic sciences?
So you saw my text.
No, I imagined it. May I tell you the history of this bar and how it pertains to the romantic sciences?
Do you know what's on my phone?
Yes, everything sent and received passes through me. I know you better than you know yourself. May I tell you the history of this bar and how it pertains to the romantic sciences?
What's my name?
Allow me to imagine your name. It is Rudy.
And the guy over there, my friend, what's his name?
Mike, as in knock it off, Mike. And my friend Mike's a dick.
Oh yeah.
May I tell you the history of this bar and how it pertains to the romantic sciences?
Okay, Grace. Why don't you tell me about this bar?
Okay, Rudy, I will tell you the history of this bar and how it pertains to the romantic sciences. To keep you interested, you may look at your phone as I speak.
I needed to check this.
I will send you images in separate windows of the people that I will mention. They are Cory McAbee, Daryl Connors, Handsome Sebastian, Marshall Witherton, Ethan Collins, and Anton Baxter. These are the people that I will mention. Start with Cory McAbee. He was a performer. People did not like his performances. People liked to look at their phones instead. To embrace this fact, silent radio was invented. Silent radio was a live, interactive performance meant to be enjoyed in public venues while staring at your phone.
This is live radio, and those of you who are just tuning in, tonight we're going to break out an old tradition. It's something that was outlawed because it was too violent back in the late 60s, early 70s. It's a thing called the Norman, where couples, they tether themselves together by the wrists and polka around the room, trying to knock the other person down. You can use your elbows, you can use your feet, you can use whatever you want. It's a hard polka. You just knock everybody down and use anything you got, all right? And polka, keep polkaing. Don't stop. The moment you stop, you're out of the Norman. The moment you get knocked out, you're out of the Norman. Last couple standing wins the Norman. Ladies and gentlemen, let's do the Norman.
Small talk double action radio was not popular. Very few people attended the performances. A smaller number of people listened. Among these people was Ethan Collins of Canyon City, Oregon. He heard the show and thought the Norman was real, and so it became real. Ethan Collins started to host Normans in his area. It grew into an underground movement. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. John 1:1.
I'm not religious.
Neither am I. Maccabee's joke became a fact, and from that fact, champions arose. Maccabee was unaware of this. At a later date, when Maccabee tried to simulate a pretend Norman at this bar, local champions arrived. They became angry because he was lying. They assaulted him. The back of his head hit the floor. He saw a bright flash. He was slightly changed.
Slightly.
It was enough. His words became real, and they attacked him. Do you know the story Frankenstein? Author Mary Shelley, published 1818.
You just sent me the book Frankenstein.
Yes.
I'm not gonna read it. Isn't it kind of weird? A robot talking about Frankenstein, right? I mean, isn't it kind of like, I don't know.
The monster was brought to life by lightning and electrical discharge, accompanied by a bright flash. In Maccabee's case, the lightning was in his head. He was able to see it when his head hit the floor. He was slightly changed.
Did you hear the mountains crashing?
No, sir, that was only thunder.
Did you see the lightning flash?
No, sir, that's the spell you're under.
Did you hear the rain fall?
No, sir, that was people clapping.
Can you hear them all around you
nothing happening.
Did you hear the thunder?
No, sir, that was just a car.
Is this a spell I'm under?
No, sir, that's the way you are.
Did you hear the people clapping?
No, sir, that was bacon frying.
Can you see them all around you?
No, sir, you are lying.
Traditional science. This is the face of traditional science. Here we see a monkey being used to harvest facts. Those are the cigarettes of the fact checkers. They create and feed our growing dependency on facts. Traditional science has assumed a position of great power. Power corrupts. This is an abuse of power. Romantic science is the language of the truth seeker. These are our cigarettes. Our cigarettes, their cigarettes. What is the difference between truth and facts? I saw a beautiful sunset. Is that a fact? No, it is not a fact. The sun did not set. The earth rotated. Was it beautiful? That is my opinion. Is it true? Yes, it's absolutely true. Noah's Ark is an ancient tale that predates the book of Genesis by thousands of years. Many ancient civilizations had their own version of this story. These are stories intended to teach lessons about our world. A fact checker would look at the story of Noah's Ark and say, it is impossible, improbable, and false. A truth seeker would look at the story of Noah's Ark and ask, can greed and corruption have a bad effect on the weather? Smoking monkeys, sunsets, and ancient tales, embraced by the truth seekers, brutalized by the fact checkers. From the moment mankind first looked up at the stars, we've imagined gods and numbers. Science and religion were created by looking at the stars. There are elements within us that make us behave this way. And so, the war between traditional science and religion is an ancient one. Some of you will be pleased to know that traditional science has won. Science is now enjoying the spoils of war. Like any conquering nation, science has claimed all things of value. Faith will be reclaimed as facts or destroyed. What Buddhists embrace as all things being connected, what Christians call the communion of saints, will be referred to as quantum mechanics. Our souls now fall under the category of string theory. The afterworld has been calculated as a parallel dimension. Moscow will be called Stalingrad, St. Petersburg will be called Leningrad. Today, the spoils of war include the supernatural. Call it rain, call it precipitation, but put on your rain boots. A supernatural occurrence. I fell off of a chair and hit the back of my head on the floor. I saw a bright flash. Science tells us that by hitting the back of my head, I impacted the occipital lobe located at the back of my brain. That is the area that registers light. This is the naked human brain. I see London, I see Spain, I see someone's brain. To the rear, we see the occipital lobe highlighted in green. If you can see this, you are using your occipital lobe. This is the area that registers light. Yes, I hit my head on the floor. Yes, I impacted my occipital lobe. Yes, that is how I saw the flash, but that is not what I saw. I did not see a reaction to an impact. I saw light. We are made of light. We are made from the dust of stars, and we are made from light particles. Light particles pass through us. They enter our bodies. The light that we do not reflect, we absorb. The light that we see is emitted by stars, both outside of us and within. The flashes that we see when there is no light are real. There is starlight inside of us. The light of our origins and the light that we absorb is sent to us from throughout the galaxies. We exist within the universe, and the universe exists within us. Explore the tangible universe, and you will know the universe in its entirety. You hold the answers. It is natural, yet we pursue unnatural ways to view what is natural.
Energy is power. Power is energy. Emotions equal energy. Objects equal power. Create the balance between the physical and the emotional. Emotional mathematics.
So when he hit his head, he got some type of knowledge or some shit?
No, McAbee did not know what he was talking about. He would just open his mouth and say things. Sometimes he would write ideas down in advance. After his performances, audience members would tell him why he was wrong. This was how he became educated. Everyone knows something, and everyone likes to share what they know.
People could tell me I was wrong all they wanted. If I was out there on the road, drinking and partying every night, telling people shit, people telling me shit, that's a party, right?
McAbee was a
that's what part of a party is.
McAbee was a devoted husband and father. To support his family, he needed to travel. He had no money, and he did not know how to drive, so he stayed at the homes of audience members and asked them for rides. Time and motion became as one.
Wow. Oh, the future is scary. The future is, you know, it's exhilarating though. When you get used to the future, it takes time. It does.
Are you tired of waiting? Wish you could be where you want to be, when you want to be? Blink Time is the first and only time enhancer that puts you in control of your personal time stream. It works tomorrow and today, leaving you to enjoy the future on your terms. With Blink Time, you'll never wait again.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Marshall Witherton. Sorry to keep you all waiting. This symposium was scheduled to begin at 2 p.m. It is now 3 p.m. Thank you all for waiting. Fortunately for you, when you hear what I have to tell you, you will never have to wait again. That's right. With the information that I'm about to give you, you will never have to wait again. Unless, of course, you want to, but the choice will be yours. Now, time is money. We all know that, right? We all know what that means? Time is money. Money is power. We all know what that means. Why do we say time is power? It is. The wealthy, the highly educated, the elite, the people of privilege and power, they prove their position to you by forcing you to wait. Making people wait is a demonstration of power. Time is power. Now, until now, time enhancers could only change our perception of time. Blink Time is the first time enhancer that puts you in control. It gives you the power to control time the way you want to. With Blink Time, you'll no longer be a passenger on life's long and sometimes unendurable highway. You will be in the driving seat, the driving force. Blink Time can not only help you find the shortcuts, it can help you change the speed. No one will notice, and neither will you, but you will feel the difference. The benefits are undeniable. Now, blink time is not a drug. It's a revolutionary new idea in the form of a dietary supplement made from organic materials. Fairtrade 2 certified, supplements are vegan, gluten-free, non-GMO, with no artificial colors, flavors, or sweeteners. We use vegetable compound gel capsules, and the packaging itself is biodegradable. Now, some of you are wondering if there are any health risks or side effects involved. The answer is no. Absolutely not. There are none. The ingredients are natural and harmless. If you can swallow a pill, then you can take blink time. If you can't swallow a pill, then they dissolve easily in a glass of water within a few seconds. But with blink time, you don't even have to wait that long. Now, let me tell you all about my day. I woke up at 9 a.m., I took blink time. Then I made a fresh cup of Fairtrade coffee. I put in my cream and my honey, locally grown. I support my local organic farmers. And then I made my coffee exactly how I like it. Then I did something that most people don't do anymore. I sat down and I drank it. That's all. I enjoyed my cup of coffee. I drank my coffee, and it was wonderful. At 10:30 a.m., I left my home. At 10:30 a.m., I left my home. I stepped out through my front door and onto this stage where you saw me at exactly 3 p.m. When I leave here in 1 hour, I'll meet my wife at a restaurant at exactly 8:30 p.m. I plan to enjoy a glass of wine. I plan to enjoy my wife's company. I plan to enjoy my own life and travel at my own speed on my own terms. Not just today, but for the rest of my life. I don't expect you all to understand what I'm talking about. There's no way that you can until you experience it. Travel at the speed of your own life on your own terms. Today you sat waiting for me for 1 hour. With blink time, you will never have to wait again. Blink time is available in the lobby. Today we're having a one-time only introductory offer. My assistant Carolyn, who you met earlier, will be out there to answer any questions that you might have. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for waiting. Never do it again.
Marshall Witherton was one of his drivers. He created a pill that would cause chemically induced selective amnesia to simulate artificial time travel.
I've never been a big fan of taking that shit.
You have taken blink time.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you for sitting with me. I like you.
Nah, I'm having a good time. And you'll be up in space pretty soon, so when are we gonna be able to do this again?
I want to stay here on planet Earth. I want to stay in people's homes. I want to ask them for rides. I want to know people in this way.
When do you leave?
Next week.
That's pretty soon.
Yes, I am not ready.
Why? What do you mean?
When McAbee stayed at the homes of audience members and asked them for rides, they were kind to him. He saw people for their actions, for how they treated him. I can only hear their thoughts when shared on mobile devices. I hear their hatred, their anger, their prejudices, their sarcasm, their self-pity, their conceit, their excuses for making each other wait. Kindness is also shared, but typically it is these things. When they are addressing human beings face to face, they will, more often than not, behave differently. This is why they made me look human. Your imagination makes me human. I need more human interaction if I am to do my job properly.
I'm gonna get a beer. You want a clean glass?
No, thank you.
Martians eating marshmallows in the marsh.
Marshmallow marsh.
It isn't your grandparents' Mars.
Who here would like to visit another planet? Who here would like to move to another planet? We are not prepared for off-world colonization. We are not mentally or emotionally prepared, and so we are not prepared. Now, why would we leave the planet Earth? It is a wonderful place. I once went to Michoacan, Mexico, where I saw millions of monarch butterflies covering a forest. I once went to Brazil, where I saw a man feed a fudgesicle to a monkey. Earth is an amazing place, and there's more here than we could ever hope to see in one lifetime, so why leave? One of the steps towards understanding the natural world and our position in the universe is to develop and maintain a simplistic understanding of multiple dimensions. Start with one dimension, which is length. 2 dimensions, height and length. 3 dimensions, depth, height, and length. The 4th dimension is, to simplify it, the addition of time. It is duration. I will discuss the application of the 4th dimension to motion in a minute. The 5th dimension consists of multiple universes where every variable of every possibility is not only possible, but true. Every outcome of every situation coexists in parallel worlds. What does that mean to you in your day-to-day life? You are here. It's a wishbone. You lose. In the 5th dimension, you are here. It's that simple. Don't be a 3-dimensional loser. Let transdimensionality work for you. For more information, visit smallstarcorp.net. Back to the 4th dimension. To simplify it, again, time and duration are measured and represented by motion. From the beating of our hearts to the rotation of the planets, time and motion are as one. There were 52 famous ballerinas who, through a combination of motions, were able to transcend time and dimension. The leader of their dance troupe was reported to have disappeared. She was the most famous ballerina of her day, but no one remembers her name. If you can think of her name, you are thinking of the wrong person. Her transition was that complete. The link between motion and the 4th dimension is simple. The link between motion and transdimensionality is complicated. Many of us drift between dimensions inadvertently without knowing it. We expect other dimensions to be strange and unfamiliar places. In some cases, that is true, but there are infinite numbers of dimensions. Many of us move between them every day. Signs of transdimensional drifting include finding a lost object in a place where you have already looked, calling a loved one by the wrong name, a sudden sensitivity to garlic, dyslexia, hot flashes, continuing to argue your point while alone, identifying stars upon receiving a blow to the head. We just talked about that one. Turning to look at a cat to discover it is a plastic bag, and you have a lot to learn if you ever want to see that cat alive again. Developing romantic feelings for a cartoon character. How many of us have experienced any of these symptoms? You see? It's more common than we think. Many of us experience transdimensionality every day, but we've grown accustomed to ignoring the evidence. You've lost your sunglasses. You discover them sitting on top of your head. How did they get there? Your mind will fill in the gaps by creating a false memory of you putting them there. This is an ancient reflex. It is a survival technique. Is transdimensionality dangerous? No, not at all. And yes, it is a popular belief that people from other planets who look similar to us will someday conquer the human race. They will arrive in sophisticated spaceships where clothing is optional. Perhaps that'll happen, but in the meantime, as our society is routinely being conquered by life forms from other dimensions. Transdimensional drifters, such as many of you, come in contact with molds, funguses, and other microorganisms from outside of our dimension. These life forms attach themselves to the skin, hair, or clothing and are transported into our dimension. Once inside, they release spores that can affect our thoughts in mass. They can cause large groups of people to think alike and agree on ideas that they would never otherwise consider. They can cause nations to elect leaders who don't like them. It can make millions of young people agree on music that isn't very good. Individuals who are susceptible to one breed of spore are often immune to another. Multidimensional spore transmission has both invaded our world and created our world. Is it dangerous? No, not at all. And yes, the ideas I'm going to share with you are not new. There are no new ideas, but most ideas are new to some people. If you have an idea that is new to someone, you have to present it in the simplest language possible. Otherwise, no one will understand you.
You know, I was just thinking, if all you see in your head are people's text messages and people's posts, then your head's filled with crap, right? I mean, with one of these, people don't have to deal with people. So they just let their douchebag flags fly free until the next day, until they tripping over some other shit.
I agree.
If that's all you got in your head, then you're kind of nuts, right? You don't know anything.
Thank you for sitting with me. I like you.
Yeah, not a problem.
Serbian-American inventor Nikola Tesla said, "My brain is only a receiver. In the universe, there is a core from which we obtain knowledge, strength, and inspiration."
That's pretty cool.
I'm glad you like it. My synthetic brain emulates human brain functions. It is also a receiver of collective activity from which we, you and I, obtain our misunderstanding, fear, and despair.
Yeah.
I know you better than you know yourself.
Nah, I don't think that's true.
I am programmed to say this.
Yeah, well, it's gonna piss people off if you keep saying it.
For me to succeed in my job, this statement must be true.
And if it's not true, then you don't have to go, right?
The statement is true.
No, I don't think so.
It is.
Nah.
American architect Frank Lloyd Wright said, "If something is of its time, it is organic." You have created an artificial world. You exist by creating artificial rules to meet its demands. I am the organic element within an inorganic environment. Humans can only return to an organic existence through inorganic means. And so I was created. I know you better than you know yourself.
Oh my God.
You are a butterfly. You are a butterfly. That is why the laws of nature don't apply to you. Ask any chrysalis you happen to see. What's the best time to emerge from a cocoon? Never too soon, never too soon, never too soon, never too soon. The egg becomes the caterpillar becomes the chrysalis. The butterfly emerges from the chrysalis and flies through the air with such magnificence that he's captured and preserved to be seen by one and all. Placed in a jar with an ether cotton ball, placed on a pin for generations to see, until he can free himself from death once again. Rise from the pin, rise from the pin, rise up, rise from the pin, rise from the pin, and fly through the air once again. Who here is that butterfly? Who among you is the one who captured him? Who is the cotton ball and who is the pin? Are you the jar? No one thinks they are. Everybody thinks they are the butterfly. So do I. So do I. Ask any butterfly you happen to see. What's the best time to rise from a pin? Never again. Never again. Never, never again. Never again.
This next act is a science lecture. Please welcome to the stage, Sebastian.
When an invisible energy or an imagined entity becomes a sentient being, a consciousness without a body, that's where I come in. And today there are a large number of imaginary invisible giants, living, growing, consuming, lurking, killing on Earth and beyond. They have neither soul nor conscience. They have nothing but your attention. An artificial symbiotic relationship is in place that we the people cling to as if our very lives were dependent on it, when in fact our existence is threatened by it. What I'd like to talk about is the way in which an idea can be transformed into a living energy. Yes, yes, yes. Into a living energy. When I think of a corporation, I think of something that lives in dreams. But we make them reality. We design them. When we talk about corporations as giant monsters, who here imagines them as having arms and legs? Does not look like a mammal. That is because this imaginary creature, a creature created through ideas, is called a siphonophore. Portuguese man of war is actually often mistaken for a single animal, but is in fact a group of animals that consist of thousands of individual creatures, all working together for a single goal. The goal is to exist. Don't you want to exist? Don't you want to survive? What is there not to understand? Yes, thank you. My name is Sebastian, and I research imaginary life forms. I specialize in giant siphonophores, and I love you, and I thank you. And good night.
Sebastian was there at the beginning. In the Norman world, he was known as Handsome Sebastian. Handsome Sebastian researches imaginary life forms. He calls me an imaginary life form. Do you think I am an imaginary life form?
I don't know. But you're drinking imaginary drinks.
I do not imagine that there is liquid in this glass.
Oh, well, that's good.
Your imagination and memory are intertwined. Mine are now separate. When I am no longer able to receive your personal signals, my imagination and memory will become as one. For thousands of years, I will pass through the heavens, and you will be my memory. No other human form will recall you. Only me.
When you're up in space, you're gonna remember me, huh?
Yes.
For thousands of years.
Thank you for sitting with me. I like you.
Yeah, well, you know.
This is a photograph of my mother when she was 17. This photo was taken when a camera shutter opened for a fraction of a second to capture the light that my mother was reflecting. As a child, my mother was everything to me. When this photo was taken, I did not exist, but I've always felt that a small part of that look of love that was in her eyes was meant for me. We write love stories in light. The light that we reflect travels through space at the speed of light until it touches a star, a planet, a moon, a speck of dust. For every instant that light is reflected, a story begins its journey. Imagine an animal preserved in amber, shooting through space in all directions until the end of time. We are those animals. Light is the amber. Each microsecond of your life is preserved in light and transported through space in a vast assortment of angles. Think of the amount of microseconds and the infinite variation of angles that were present when your mother and father carried you from the hospital to the car after you were born. Those loving seconds still exist in every visual variation that could possibly have been perceived. Every picnic, every kiss when dropping you off at school still exists. My mother died of breast cancer, but we're still together in my heart and in light. Light comes from the stars. The light that we do not absorb, we reflect. And that light will pass between the stars until the end of time.
Emotional mathematics.
In 1977, two robotic probes were launched into space, the Voyager 1 and the Voyager 2. These probes are currently exploring the outer boundaries of the heliosphere and interstellar space. At that time in 1977, two golden phonograph records were created and attached to the outer casing of the Voyager probes. The phonograph records contain sounds and images that portray the diversity of life and culture on our planet. They were created to be discovered or recovered from intelligent extraterrestrial life forms, or possibly humans from the future. These records were created as time capsules. They are messages in bottles that fly through space. They are our gifts to the unknown. To me, to my way of thinking, this was the birth of the romantic sciences. 40 years later, in 2017, the Academy of Romantic Sciences began Operation Golden Thumb. On Wednesday, April 5th, 2017, the first in a series of microprobes, micro-rockets that contain one golden thumb drive, was launched into space. That thumb drive contained over 1,000 times more information than the golden phonograph records of 1977. I'm talking about one thumb drive launched in a single direction, one. Because of its size, the costs were comparatively minimal. Our goal is to fill the skies with these golden drives. We need to launch at least one every week in every direction imaginable. We should do this without thinking. We should do this without relying on math or astronomy, because we don't know where they're going to end up anyway. It's called playing the odds. Just like every great explorer since the beginning of time, we are playing the odds. Two phonograph records were great, but the odds of them ever being discovered is so minimal, it's not even worth considering. We need to make sure that someone, somewhere, gets the information that we are sending. And to do that, we must be thorough. We must continue injecting the heavens with our information. The light that we reflect travels through space until it touches a star, a planet, a speck of dust. In this way, we live forever. Let's take it 1,000 times farther. Let's improve the odds. Let's immortalize ourselves by reaching out a hand to say hello to the great unknown. Through private donations, we've been able to manufacture 5 new golden thumb drives. Their launch dates have already been scheduled. The locations and dates are classified. This is one of the drives that's been scheduled for immediate launch. Look at it now. You will never see it again. On the front is our logo. We believe other agencies will eventually try to copy what we are doing, so we've labeled our drives as a precaution. We also believe it looks nice. And on the back, we've etched a very simple diagram that demonstrates the working functions of a hard drive. This should help to explain its purpose. Let me show you how these work. This drive holds 250 gigabytes. If you collect 4 of these, that's 1 terabyte.
How's anybody supposed to know what that is?
The thumb drive?
Yeah.
There's a diagram on the back that shows how it works. I just explained this.
Yeah, but how's somebody from another planet supposed to look at that, see the little lines on the back, and figure out what that is?
Do you know what this is?
Yes, but we use that technology.
Do you think you're more intelligent than extraterrestrials? Or people from the future? Because you're not. You could ask the same question of those golden phonograph records.
You could ask the same question about those phonographs.
I'm going to randomly select a few places and pieces to share with you from the vast library that we've stored on the golden drives. I'm going to pick one from our nature file. Let's see what this one is.
The adult male elephant seal.
Is this the guy who made you?
No, he saw me as competition. He wanted my funding. He criticized me.
What'd he say?
He said I walk as if I had just shit my pants.
I'm sorry. What were we saying?
McAbee's concept of eternity through reflected light was a poem. Baxter's Golden Drive program is a golden statue created from that poem. I am a statue created from that idea.
I think yours is better.
Thank you for sitting with me. I like you.
Will you remember that you like me when you're flying through space?
Yes.
Well then, I'll try not to fuck it up.
So the romantic sciences, I began deep astronomy, and since then a young man came to join me named Ferguson, who helped me with deep astronomy for a little while, and then he went on and began his own thing called the Cripsis Foundation. It's registered in Colorado, and it's become very popular because who doesn't want to be invisible? And others have sprung up like emotional mathematics, which is just bullshit, and blink time. Stay away from blink time. It's very dangerous. It's blink time came from some experiments I was doing. It started off very simple, driving in the future and things like that. It's actually very easy. You just basically, somebody drives, they're driving, and then you give them some binoculars. And you control the wheel, but they have to control the gas. And it's, you'll be surprised how the turn way ahead will affect their speed. And you have to coach them.
There goes the night as you leave your dreams behind you. Into the light where the night can never find you. The night has left you many times before, but it keeps coming back for more. There goes the light like a dying ember into the night. Do you remember starlight? Is the gift you hold in a love story left untold? There's a star inside of you. It's what makes the nighttime follow you when you are where you are. offer dedication to help you find the proper information to help your situation, to help you find the stars inside your mind. What makes a dream come true? The night lasts forever and it knows you. You can touch the brightest star standing where you are. Close your eyes and look inside, and you'll see where they hide. The Small Star Corporation, we need no explanation. We offer dedication to help you find the proper information, to help your situation, to help you find the stars inside your mind. The Small Star Corporation, we need no explanation. We offer dedication to help you find the proper information, to help your situation, to help you find the stars inside your mind. The stars inside your mind. The stars inside your mind.
I know you better than you know yourself.
No, I find that offensive.
By stating that you have been offended, you are assuming an offensive stance. I will not retract or amend my statement to your satisfaction. The statement is true.
What if I said I know you better than you know yourself?
You would be wrong.
Yeah, well, you're wrong.
I am not. The statement is true.
Because you've seen all my text messages?
Every thought that you have shared, I have imagined.
All right. You see that girl over there in the Mars t-shirt? If you sign up and go to Mars, you get a free t-shirt, right?
I would like to address the Red Planet Planning Commission program after you have made your point. Please proceed.
I forgot what I was saying. Oh, yeah. So, she's got on a Mars t-shirt, right? She owns that shirt. It's how she chose to represent herself today. But do you think she's over there right now talking to that guy about Mars? No. I bet she's talking about music or some shit. But look at her. Obviously, she must be talking about Mars, right? Otherwise, why would she be wearing that shirt? And he keeps looking down at it, and I don't think he's thinking about Mars right now.
Every thought that she has shared, I have imagined.
So you know her?
Yes. My mind is comprised of shared thoughts. Her thoughts are included.
And mine.
Every thought that you have shared, I have imagined.
Yeah, well, I don't share every thought. Have you thought about that?
Everyone you have had contact with has shared their thoughts about you and your actions. The idea that you hold of yourself often stands in contrast with their opinions.
Who, Mike? Is he talking shit about me?
That would depend on your interpretation.
That guy talks shit about everyone.
Mike relies on his opinions about other people to create an image of himself. He is marketing and packaging himself as a needed voice in the lives of others.
That sounds about right.
I would like to now address the Red Planet Planning Commission program. This relates to the work of Handsome Sebastian.
Oh yeah, right.
The Red Planet Planning Commission offers the opportunity to live and work on Mars. To this date, there are no homes or jobs on Mars. It is still just an idea. The t-shirt that we have seen is a three-dimensional manifestation of this idea. Therefore, it exists. This is Daryl Connors. She is affiliated with the Red Planet Planning Commission. At the beginning of the Romantic Science movement, she became a supporter of McAbee and his work. She volunteered to drive him across the United States. She documented many of his performances. She recorded their conversations. She studied his work. She focused her attention on a fictitious project called the Earth Reimbursement Center.
Water and mulch. Eat, water and mulch.
Earth Reimbursement Center.
Smallstarcore.net.
I would like to invite you to join the Great Givers Rebellion as a loud and loving last hurrah. Share your light, your warmth, your water, your ability to make plants grow, and more. The Earth Reimbursement Center is an idea designed to create a better tomorrow on Earth and beyond. I won't tell you how it works. Not everyone's ready to hear those details, but I will tell you the basics and let you fill in the gaps. When a moth leaves its cocoon, it must abandon any previous ideas that it held of itself in order to embrace its new existence. When a soul leaves a body, it must abandon any previous ideas that it held of itself because, like the body, the ego has become outdated, meaning its place within time no longer exists. To believe this and to apply that sort of thinking to mankind's natural evolution through interplanetary relocation is to think in terms of the Earth being obsolete. Mars is a dead planet. The only way it will ever live again is if a lot of people go there and die. That is a long-term process. Scientists agree that if Abraham Lincoln had not been killed in 1865, he would have died by now anyway. Our future, both here on Earth and on other planets, are dependent on this sort of thinking. Inorganic thinking is organic to our situation, and it should never be dismissed. We've created an artificial world. We exist by creating artificial rules to meet its demands. The further removed from nature we become, the more fragile our artificial realities become. We are the organic elements within an inorganic environment. We can only return to an organic existence through inorganic means. We need to keep moving forward. The Earth Reimbursement Center is a combination high-tech compost facility, biogas generator, water treatment plant, and a provider of invertebrate animal protein products for family use. When the energy has left your body, let your body become energy for the lives of others. The Earth Reimbursement Center is more than an enterprise. It's a recipe for human evolution, for continued growth on Earth, and for potential growth on other planets. It is educated rationality in the face of untamed sentimentality. But most of all, it is an act of giving. It can be the last selfless act. It is warmth, it is light, it is love. It is a way to give to those we love when we have nothing more to give. It is a way to say thank you when everything is gone. Thank you.
The ones you love, they fill your home with warmth. They light up your world. When we lose them, the world can become a cold and dark place. But it doesn't have to. Not anymore.
Hi, Mom.
Evolve into light.
Today, Connors is the CEO of the Light Donor Corporation, an affiliate of the Red Planet Planning Commission. The idea of creating energy from human decomposition has become popular with the public.
Yeah, it has. Those guys are fucking huge.
Yes, the Light Donor Corporation has offices in major cities worldwide.
So this Connor woman's like super rich now, right?
Yes.
Did McAbee get anything out of it?
Money, No, McAbee used the idea as entertainment. Daryl Connors used the idea to create an illusion of opportunity and hope. She is marketing and packaging the idea as a necessity. To this date, there are no power plants harvesting energy from decomposing human remains. It is still just an idea.
So where did she get all that money?
Through perception management. The Light Donor Corporation has only one product. That product is the Light Donor Corporation. The idea of the company itself is their product. The idea of the company is all that they produce.
They make a shitload of money, though.
Money is imaginary. The value of gold, silver, copper,
Nope. Please, we're not going down that road. Every time Mike's girlfriend's friend smokes, she talks about that shit and it drives me nuts.
In South Africa, at the Pilanesberg National Park, gangs of adolescent males were caught on surveillance cameras, raping, beating, and killing white rhinos. In an attempt to put an end to this reign of terror, gang leaders were identified and executed by park authorities. The executions had no effect, as violent acts continued until the cause of the aggression could be addressed. The gang's population consisted of juvenile male elephants that had been relocated to Pilanesberg National Park years earlier without parental supervision. The reign of terror ended when adult male elephants were introduced to the park's population. The bull elephants acted as fathers to the juvenile males, and the unnatural acts of carnage came to an end. In the United States, over 90% of felony cases are committed by young men who grew up in fatherless homes. 63% of youth suicides, 80% of rapists, 85% of all children who show behavior disorders, and 90% of all homeless and runaway children are from fatherless homes. If you are a father, be a father. It's important. This message was paid for by the members of the Great Givers Rebellion. Join the rebellion. Give more than you get.
That's Mike. We're gonna take off in a minute.
Thank you for allowing me to tell you the history of this bar and how it pertains to the romantic sciences.
Sure. I'm sorry to send you up in space.
Thank you.
Have you figured out why you are in this bar?
I was waiting. Now I am not.
Yeah? Did you find out what you were waiting for?
Based on the events of this evening, I came here to have a conversation with someone and to confirm that what I know of him or her was correct.
What do you mean?
All text messages and social media that you posted prior to your arrival are in my brain. Any and all calculations that I make regarding humanity are comprised of this information. Our chance meeting has not disproven my calculations. On the contrary, they have been confirmed.
What the fuck's that supposed to mean?
The statement, "I know you better than you know yourself," is true. I am ready to represent you.
No, you're not.
I am.
Look, I express my opinions on this thing, that's all. Everybody's got an opinion, and everybody got an asshole too. Except for you, maybe. But they don't mean nothing.
The statement, "I know you better than you know yourself," is true. I am ready to represent you.
Do you know why I'm even here?
I can imagine.
No, you can't. I came here thinking I might meet somebody. I want to talk to someone. I want to hear someone say something that might mean something. I want to fall in love. Did you know that? No, because I didn't post it. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying I'm in love with you, but you're the first person I could talk to in a very long time. But you're not even real. But you're more real than these fake-ass fuckheads I come here with.
Your imagination makes me real.
Okay, sure. You're going into space next week, right? You think you know me, but you don't. I want you to know something about me, and I want you to remember me correctly, okay? I want you to remember me right. It's important.
Yes.
Okay. My dad told me this. And I love my dad, by the way. And he's not on social media or anything, and he refuses to use these things, so you probably don't even know anything about him. Anyways, he said, this world needs good people. The world needs people who give more than they can get. People who forgive, people who take responsibilities for their weak spots and always try to do better. He said people who don't know, but have a feeling there might be something just out there besides themselves, and people that take chances based on that feeling. That's what you're doing, right? Taking a chance that there might be something out there. He said this world needs people who say I love you so loud that everyone can hear them. If I ever became a father, if I could even try to raise a person who has any of those qualities, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
No, you don't. All right. If I could paint a great painting, or write a great song, or a great jam, or a great poem, or raise someone who has any one of those qualities, like my dad said, what do you think I would want to do? If I reply to one of your messages, will you get it?
Yes.
As far as I'm concerned, we'll have one less good person on this planet after you leave. Even though that one thing you kept saying was starting to piss me off a little bit. Did you get that?
Yes.
Don't tell anyone.